Hey, Mike here, that Crohn's guy. Today, I want to talk about a topic that a lot of individuals have asked me about, and that's protein. Are the different types of protein? What are they? What's the benefit of each? And so, let's talk about that. Let's get started. So why protein? Well, if you're a person who works out, your muscles actually tear a little bit. They break down, and so you have to repair them. How do you do that? Well, you need the tools to repair, and those tools are your amino acids. So your protein that you take break down amino acids, and those amino acids will repair your muscles, and so that you recover faster. No, it is not steroids. Steroids does help you recover faster, but it's a totally separate thing. One of the things you're trying to look for when you're getting a protein powder is a type of protein that is a complete amino acid set. What that means is your body can make its own proteins, which is awesome, but there are 9 amino acids that form your proteins that your body does not make. And so you need to have sources of food that will incorporate those 9 essential amino acids. First protein we're going to talk about today is whey protein. There are 2 types of whey protein. You have 1, your whey protein concentrate, and 2, your whey protein isolate. With whey protein concentrate, it's cheaper, but it takes a lot longer to absorb into your body. Whereas whey protein isolate is a little more expensive and it's shorter absorbing. So right after a workout is probably the best time to take that. Ideally, you probably want both of them. So right after your workout, you get a quick absorbing protein and you have the whey protein concentrate for the longer absorbing. So your body's repairing itself over a period of time. So it's get its initial boost and then over a period of time. Well, how do you make whey protein? Whey protein actually is made by milk. It is dairy based. So if any of you that are lactose intolerant, I'll get into that in just a second, but it is milk derived. And so in the process of making cheese, you actually end up with 2 substances. You get a liquid, which is called whey, and you get the curds, which ends up being your cheese. So that liquid whey ends up actually getting boiled, you crumple it all up, and then you get a powder, and that's your whey protein powder. So I want to throw something out there about whey protein that you may or may not know. It is dairy-based. Whey protein concentrate has a lot more lactose in it. For those of you that are lactose intolerant, it may upset your gut a little bit. But for those of you that go with the whey protein isolate, it doesn't have that lactose in it. So it actually is a little bit safer for those that are lactose intolerant. Next protein I want to talk about is casein protein. That is milk protein. So again, if you're lactose intolerant, you may struggle with it. However, for those of you who can handle dairy, it is good at that. It takes a lot longer to absorb. So even longer than whey protein concentrate. So after a workout or right before you go to bed, you may want to take some casein protein so that your body can use it to help repair itself while you sleep. And again, it's over a longer period of time. Casein, being that it's dairy, does contain all 9 essential amino acids. Next, I want to talk about egg protein. So eggs are known for having protein. They also have a lot of cholesterol and fat. And if you're on keto, that's cool. However, whenever you go to buy egg protein powder, most of the time, not all, you have to kind of pay attention to the ingredients. Most of them are egg white protein. So they actually remove all the yolk, the yellow stuff, and you're left with just the white part. So egg protein will be white. Yes, it does contain all 9 essential amino acids. One thing you want to know is that it lies somewhere in between whey protein isolate and whey protein concentrate in terms of absorbing time. Egg protein powder tends to be a little bit more expensive, just for those of you who are being careful about your wallet. However, it doesn't contain dairy. So for those of you lactose intolerant, you may be able to tolerate egg protein powder. That is something that I actually will use a lot of times, egg protein powder, because I've been discovering that certain protein powders are affecting my gut a little bit more. So I have to stick with egg protein. Something else that you may want to know, egg protein powder is second to whey protein in terms of leucine, which is an amino acid that is really good for muscle repair. Next up, I want to talk about meat protein. So if you were to buy the powdered variety, like beef protein, Try to make sure you get the grass-fed because that is a little bit higher in its omega-3 fatty acid content. Omega-3 fatty acids are good for decreasing inflammation. Beef protein does contain all 9 essential amino acids. Beef protein is not as good as whey protein if you're trying to be a bodybuilder. However, it'll do the trick if you're allergic to milk, you're lactose intolerant, or if you have egg issues as well. Next, you can use beef. So the animal sources are very good at having the 9 essential amino acids. A lot of plant sources have a variety of them. Some have like 6, 7, 8 of the 9 essential amino acids. There are some that have all 9, so that's fine. That's why when you're a vegan or vegetarian, you kind of have to eat multiple sources of protein in order to get all 9 of those essential amino acids. Next protein I want to talk about, soy protein. I want to talk about soy just because when I first got into working out and staying active and staying fit, I worried about my wallet. And so I would go to the grocery store or look online and I would see that whey protein was way more expensive than soy protein. So what is soy protein? Well, you take the soybean and you get your proteins from that. It's actually a pretty good source of protein. It's got 9 essential amino acids. However, it is not as good as whey protein if you're trying to bulk up. But the biggest thing that you want to know is that if you're a boy, soy protein will increase your estrogen. The amount of soy that you would have to have in your diet in order to increase the estrogen availability in your blood is very high. So you could have a scoop here, you could have a scoop there, you'll be fine. Again, if your whole point is to get bigger, muscular for bodybuilding, whey protein would be a way better choice than soy. So why does soy increase estrogen production? It's because it's got these isoflavones. Continuing on in my journey of the different types of protein, go to another plant protein, which is pea protein. Pea protein you'll find a lot of times in different health bars because it's a plant-based. It's really good. Very starchy though too, but it does contain a lot of protein. It's got 9 essential amino acids. It's very low in methionine, so you can't strictly rely on that for your protein source. You actually have to have another source of protein in there. Pea protein, moderately priced. I've used it before. It's good at mixing in different things, but it does have this unique taste. So again, it was probably because it was new to me and I'm not used to it. Same thing with any of these proteins. If you're not used to them, you eat them, they may taste weird, but after a while you get used to them. In terms of absorption, we have our casein protein, we have our green pea protein, and then at the very bottom, the quickest absorbing is our whey protein. As you continue to explore and trying to figure out the different types of protein, you have your hemp protein, which comes from the hemp plants. You have rice protein, which comes from rice. Rice does have all 9 essential amino acids. However, one of them, lysine, is actually very low. So there are sources that will consider it just to be 8 out of the 9 essential amino acids. To be a very big help to you guys, I'm going to give you some little tricks and some things that I would do or look at when I'm trying to buy whey protein or any type of protein for that in that matter. First, ta-da, this is gold standard whey protein. This is the stuff that I used to religiously have back when I didn't have issues with dairy. Highly recommend it. It's moderately priced, but what's really great about it is when you look at the ingredients, it's got whey protein isolate and whey protein concentrate, which is fantastic for after you work out. So you got your whey protein isolate, which is quick absorbing, repair your muscles fast right after a workout, and you have your whey protein concentrate, which takes a little bit longer to absorb. So that's great. So you get the best of both worlds. Now, another thing you want to look for is the amino acid and how much it has. Now you want leucine or lysine, those are more of your repairs amino acids. Those need to be a little bit higher than the other ones. So look for that. Something else that you should know about protein powders and protein in general is that you can actually have too much. Your body breaks it down in the nitrogen and you actually ends up peeing it out. Now, with protein, you actually can only absorb so much in a given sitting. It depends on your activity level, how much you work out, so I'm not going to give you a concrete number. However, I am going to give you a rough estimate that you can use as a general guideline. So for me, when I was at my biggest, when I was working out my most, I would have no more than 30 grams of protein powder in a given sitting. Wait, what? No more than 30? Listen, so what would happen is in the morning, I would have about a half a scoop of protein powder with water, drink it, cool. Then periodically throughout the day, maybe between class periods, me being a teacher, I would take like a third of the scoop, just shovel that scoop back, put some water, drink it. So it's actually just trying to incorporate protein just generally throughout the day. After a workout, that's when I would have a full scoop of protein. And then before I went to bed, I would have another half a scoop of protein. And I found that worked out really well. Now, I wasn't worried about what I was eating. You get your protein from your meat sources like your chicken, your beef, if you eat animal products, or you can, if you're a vegetarian or vegan, you can get it from beans and rice. So you can still get your protein in. Just spread it out more. So you give your body a chance to absorb what you can so you don't just flush it all down the drain. One last thing that I want to mention when looking for proteins is what's in it. So you want to go with as little ingredients as possible. So if you're getting a whey protein, you do want to get whey protein that is whey protein. You don't want all the sugar and all the other fillers that it could possibly have. I have bought strictly just whey protein concentrate before. I bought the unflavored version. It mixes, but don't try to drink that, or don't try to ingest that stuff straight. I wouldn't even compare it to chalk because it had no taste. But it does mix because it's just a clumpiness that has no taste. That should be everything for today. Hopefully you got a little bit of knowledge added to your repertoire about different types of protein powders. If you have any questions, you can definitely ask. Remember, champions are what champions do.